Hello and welcome back on my YouTube channel. My name is Vlad and today we are in location clay farm in Worcestershire. Beautiful place, especially for people who love fishing, but I couldn't lose this opportunity to do nice review on the whiskey, of course. And today we're gonna try Càrn Mòr Strictly limited edition CAOL ILA 7 years old from independent bottler. If you are a fan of the peated whiskey, you probably know CAOL ILA distillery. CAOL ILA is the biggest distillery in Isle of Islay, and distillery is owned by Diageo company, who owns probably more than quarter of all distilleries in Scotland. And yeah, probably you know this distillery from loads of blends from Diageo, like Johnny Walker, like loads of different brands of blended Scotch whiskies all around the world. But today I would like to talk about CAOL ILA from independent bottler, from Càrn Mòr. The Càrn Mòr brand is owned by Morrison's Distillers Group, and you may know this independent bottler from whiskies like Old Perth or Mactala whiskey, which they are quite nice, quite okay, to be honest. In this case we have CAOL ILA 7 years old, matured in sherry butt, and it was actually 3 casks, and the total release of this whiskey was 1,324 bottles. And this whiskey has been distilled in 2012 and bottled in 2020, so it's an edition from 2 years ago. You might have a problem to get this, actually this particular one, but the Càrn Mòr, they are released loads of different whiskies from Strictly limited edition, and actually that's the old bottle. Now they have new bottling, new labels, but the whiskey is still quite okay and quite nice. In this case we also have 47.5% of ABV, which is quite good. There is no information about chill filtration or color adding, but I assume this whiskey hasn't been chill filtered or color adding because it's independent bottler, and they're usually trying to present this whiskey to us with this quite natural presentation. So let's see what we have in this CAOL ILA on the nose. Of course peat, as usual, but not all whiskies from CAOL ILA, they are peated. The CAOL ILA is that distillery where they producing unpeated and peated whiskey as well. In this case we've got, of course, quite strong, heavily peated whiskey. So you can smell that peat, that sea influence, sea breeze, seashells, I would say, saltiness, and some fruitiness as well, just behind that smokiness. Peach, apricot, some vanilla, a little bit of caramel, quite sweet and quite oily. You can smell that oiliness on the nose. Let's dive into the whiskey. Quite oily, very sweet, nice mouth coating. Straight away we've got that smokiness, peat, slightly spiciness, and quite a lot of fruits, to be honest. Loads of vanilla, peach, apricot, salted caramel. That saltiness is quite intense and beautifully cooperate with that sweetness, with that peatiness. When swallow, little bit spiciness coming up. The spiciness combined with that sweetness, peatiness. Towards the finish, more fruitiness coming up, like that syrup from the fresh open can with the peaches. Very sweet, very nice mouth coating. Finish is quite long, slight spicy, with that touch of the peatiness, loads of fruity juiciness. Quite intense, quite nice. As a 47.5% of ABV, it's quite thick, quite dense, quite intense whiskey, which I really appreciate. I like it. As I said, probably you won't be able to get this particular bottle, but just have a look on the Càrn Mòr strictly limited edition whiskies, because they've got loads of different distilleries bottlings. And I also tried when I was in Edinburgh a few months ago. I've tried Strat Isla, I think that was Strat Isla, from sherry casks. It was really beautiful whiskey as well, but I wasn't able to buy this whiskey because already everything from that particular batch has been sold already. So yeah, but just keep eye on the strictly limited edition from Càrn Mòr, because sometimes you can buy very nice whiskies. If you will find the CAOL ILA even 7 years old or 10 years old or 8 years old, I think it's worth to buy. I think the CAOL ILA is quite underrated whiskey because of that popularity of the blends which they produce the whiskey for, and I think it's quite unfair, because you can find some really good quality whiskies from CAOL ILA, and this is one of Isle of Islay distilleries, and they really produce good stuff always, where they put this, of course, in the good quality of casks. That's all. That's everything about this whiskey. And I think in this case that 7 years old is that positive thing, because if that would be longer in these casks, the cask's influence can just cover that, you know, distillery character, that, you know, beautifully smokiness, peatiness, that saltiness. In this case, I think that was the good move to bottle quite young CAOL ILA whiskey from Islay Distillery. I think this is really good stuff. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you very much for your time, my dear viewers. I'm going to enjoy my day. I'm going to have some another drams of beautiful whiskies. And I'm going back to fishing, of course, because I came here to spend my time with the friends, fishing and enjoying the life, of course. Take care, my dear friends, my dear viewers. See you soon. Bye.